It was a perfectly ordinary apartment. 2 bedrooms for just 80,000 yen a month. Personally, I felt it was a little pricey for a unit in a relatively suburban neighborhood, but I let it go after a while. Can't have everything, I thought. It was in a good location with plenty of stores in the area. The building itself was under a decade old, and both the interior and exterior were maintained quite well. Excuse me. The perfect home office for a 30-something single woman, I'd say. Once the movers left, I spent the next few hours unpacking, and by the time I was done, the sun had nearly set. The view from the balcony was little more than a vacant lot, so I decided the curtains could wait until tomorrow. What's another day, right? My utilities were already set up, so I decided I'd swing by and introduce myself to my new neighbors, before grabbing a slightly early dinner. My apartment, 201, was located in a 4-story building. There were 2 sets of stairs, one right outside my apartment and one at the opposite end of the hall next to apartment 206. There was a parking lot for residents out front, as well as a separate building where the aging landlady lived. According to her, this land used to be a rice field until they paved it over to build the complex. She even showed me the old electric... sorry, I was checking the lighting on here. Yeah, y'all can see me enough. Okay, she even showed me the old electric cultivator gathering dust out behind her house. As far as retirement income, though, I could easily see why she made the switch. Given the small size of the complex, proper social etiquette likely dictated that I ought to go and greet every single resident, but that was a bit old-fashioned for my taste. Instead, I decided I'd limit myself to the neighbors directly, sharing walls and ceiling and floor with me as well as the landlady herself. I grabbed their gifts and walked out. My last apartment was right in the middle of downtown, and I never even saw my neighbors when I lived there. No need to go all out, I figured. I stepped outside and was immediately greeted by the last lingering rays of the setting sun stretching out over my path. Using my brand new key, I carefully locked the door and walked over to apartment 202. I pressed the button on the intercom and heard a faint ringing sound from inside. A gentle breeze brushed past as I waited for a response, but the silence lingered. Maybe they're not home right now, I thought. Just in case they didn't hear, I gave the button one more push. Again, I heard a faint ringing sound from the other side of the metal door. Then it stopped. I waited. No response. Evidently, no one was around. I considered simply leaving their gift hanging from the doorknob, but ultimately decided against it. Wouldn't want to risk freaking them out with an unwanted present from a mystery sender. Instead, I turned and made for the stairs, but before I could take another step, I heard a soft sound behind me. Sounded like intercom static. Maybe my neighbor had finally picked up. I turned back and stood in front of the intercom camera.
隣の201号室に越してきた結城と申しますが、ご挨拶に来ました。
Hi, my name's Yuki. I moved in next door to 201. Just thought I'd stop by. Couldn't hurt to introduce myself. After a brief blip of static, I heard them hang up. But no one came to the door. Unsure what to do, I paused there for a moment. Then the doorknob turned. Apparently they were home after all. Well, a reply would have been nice. Sheesh, thought to myself, but just as I got their gift ready... the doorknob suddenly began to jerk in all directions. For moments before, it had been perfectly still. Instantly, a chill shot down my spine. Holding the gift, I took off running into the stairs. Behind me, the creak of the opening door grated on my eardrums. As I rounded the corner, I caught one final glimpse of the door to 202, and it sent goosebumps prickling up my arms. There was a ghostly pale hand reaching out for the door. But it retracted a split second later, immediately followed by a low clunk of the door shutting once more. What was that? I collapsed onto the stairs, my legs quaking. For a moment I debated heading up to the 3rd floor, but after a moment of thought, I carefully crawled my way back down the hall. Slowly, I peered around the corner at the door to apartment 202. It was firmly closed. It was then that I realized I had probably just made a colossal ass of myself. Still, I had absolutely no intention of going back and giving it another shot. Apartment 301 was occupied by a male resident. As perhaps expected of a single bachelor, the young man appeared at the door in scruffy attire. Regardless, I was relieved to meet a normal person for once. He looked to be a bit younger than I was. He scratched his head and blinked sleepily at me.
下の201に引っ越してきた結城と言います。すみません、寝ているところを。
Hi, my name's Yuki. I just moved into 201 downstairs. Sorry if I woke you. Being a freelancer myself, I was in no position to judge him for keeping a weird sleep schedule. He didn't look too thrilled about being awake, and I felt guilty for disturbing him.
ああ、いえ、すみません。論文の締め切り前でちょっと仮眠を取ってたもんですから。
Oh, no, sorry. Got thesis due in a few hours, so I was just taking a quick nap.
大学生ですか？
Are you in college?
いえ、陰性です。
Grad school, actually. He went on to explain that his graduate school was part of a hard sciences-focused university located in the suburbs about a 30-minute drive away. On first impression, he seemed nice, though perhaps uninterested in maintaining his appearance, if his black-rimmed glasses and sweatpants were any indication. Then again, presentability isn't exactly the point of pajamas. Still, compared to the fright I just had at 202, I could forgive even the most outlandish of attire.
結城さんはどこかにお勤めですか？
What about you, Yuki-san?
いえ、自宅でデザインの仕事をしています。忙しいと昼夜問わず仕事をしてるので、ご迷惑をかけるかもしれないんですが。
Oh, I'm a web designer. I work all hours of the day and night. Whenever my clients need me, I'll try not to be too loud, though.
ああ、大丈夫です。僕も論文を書くときはそうですし、ここは壁も床も天井も分厚いから。
Oh, it's so good. I mean, don't worry about it, man. I'm usually up pretty late myself whenever I have an essay due. The walls are pretty thick here anyway.
はあ、これつまらないものですが、ご挨拶の品です。
That's good. Here, this is for you. Just a small trifle from one neighbor to another. As I spoke, I held out his gift, a small carton of laundry detergent. I had chosen to play it safe with something boring and practical. The man, whose name was Izumatsu Daigo, if the label on the package sitting by the door was any indication, took it from me with a sleepy half smile.
すみません、気を使っていただいて。
Thanks, that's really thoughtful of you. For a young guy, he seemed to have a firm grasp of social etiquette. This came as a huge relief. Now that I confirmed at least one of my neighbors to be a reasonable individual, I just thought it was time to get going.
僕、久松って言います。何かあったら気軽に声をかけてください。夕方以降はだいたい家にいますから。
Anyway, the name's Hizamatsu. I'm typically at home in the evening these days, so feel free to hit me up, or contact me if you need anything.
ありがとうございます。じゃあ、他にも挨拶をするところがありますので、これで。
Thank you very much. Alright, well, I'm gonna say hi to my other neighbors, so I'll be seeing you.
はい。じゃあ、
Cool, then. I realized he started to say something, so I stopped and turned back.
はい。
いえ、じゃあ、僕も論文に戻りますんで。失礼します。
Oh, it's nothing. I better get back to my thesis. Nice talking with you. With that, our conversation came to an end and the heavy iron door clunked shut. I didn't like how it ended, though. Judging from the look on his face, there had been something else in the tip of his tongue.
いっか。
Oh well. No sense fretting over things outside my control. Shifting the remaining gifts in my arms, I headed for the stairs once more. Was he about to ask me out for dinner or
ま
something?
さかね。
Yeah, right. Shaking the silly thought from my mind, I headed down the stairs, my footsteps echoing off the walls. Thankfully, the Kuda family in apartment 101 seemed perfectly ordinary. I was greeted with a light, pleasant scent as the mother of the household poked her head out from the door.
上の201に引っ越してきた結城です。よろしくお願いします。
Hi there, new neighbor. Oh, hi there, new neighbor. My name's Yuki. I just moved in upstairs to 201.
上にですか?
What? You moved in upstairs?
はい、今日からなんですけど、何か?
Yeah, just today. Actually, is something wrong?
あ、いえ、全然気がつかなかったもので。
Oh, no, I just didn't notice, that's all. She smiled stiffly, her face pale. Ignoring the yellow flag in my mind, I held up her gift.
これ、つまらないものなんですが。
This is for you, just a little something.
まあ、わざわざすみません。
Oh my, you shouldn't have. Repeating what I told the last neighbor, I held up the detergent. Just then, a pair of little hands shot out from behind her and grabbed it.
こんにちは、お姉ちゃん。
Hi, Miss Lady.
こんにちは。
Hi there, sweetheart. That's more like it. 10 points for not calling me ma'am.
上のお部屋に引っ越してきたの?
Did you move in upstairs?
うん。結城かえっていうの。お名前教えてくれる?
Sure did. My name's Yuki Kai. What's yours?
生田むつみ。
Ikuta Mutsumi.
むつみちゃんか。いくつ?
It's nice to meet you, Mutsumi-chan. How old are you?
6歳。
I'm 6.
小学生かな?
Are you a first grader?
4月からなの。
Uh-huh. I start school in April.
1年生か。お嬢さん、しっかりしてますね。
How exciting. What a mature young woman we have here.
ええ、まあ。
Yes, she certainly is. Matsumi's mother looked slightly relieved that the conversation had shifted focus to her daughter. Maybe she had her guard up answering the door. She didn't know me, after all. At least that was what I decided to tell myself. Sorry,
ね
guys.
え、お姉ちゃん。
Hey, Miss Lady?
ん? 何?
Hmm? What is it, sweetie?
お姉ちゃんはすぐに引っ越しちゃったりしないよね。
You won't move away tomorrow, will you?
え? それってどういう意味?
Huh? What do you mean?
むつみ!
What's me? The woman's shrill voice rang out through the corridor, looking up sharply to find her white as a sheet, her lip trembling.
生田さん?
Ikuta-san?
すみません。これから夕食の準備がありますので。むつみ、お部屋に行ってなさい。
Pardon me, I really need to start getting dinner ready. Mitsumi, go to your room.
でも、お姉ちゃんとお話ししたいよ。
But I want to talk to the lady.
いいから!
I said, go to your room. Something must have set off Mama Bear, I thought to myself. Baffled though I was, I could take a hint. It was time for me to go.
私も他に挨拶をするところがありますので、これで失礼します。
I actually have other people I need to meet, so don't mind me. I could practically see the relief written all over her face.
じゃあ、むつみちゃん、またね。
See you around, Mutsumi-chan. I waved goodbye and
お
stepped
姉
back.
ちゃん、バイバイ。
Bye-bye, Miss Lady. Her little voice was drowned out by the heavy clunk of the door slamming in my face. Why did Ikuta-san seem to instantly dislike me? I only just got here. Surely I hadn't done anything to warrant that kind of attitude. Thought about it for a bit, then shrugged it off. Call intuition or a small voice in the back of my head. But something told me I'd understand someday. For a moment, I simply stared at the 2 remaining cartons of detergent in my arms. Then I decided it was time to pay my landlady a visit. Walking out of the apartment building, I cut across the parking lot and headed to the standalone building that served as the landlady's personal abode. In contrast to the main building, the landlady's house was fairly old and outfitted with a large garden. According to my real estate agent, most of the houses in this area belong to rice farmers turned millionaires after their property values skyrocketed. They told me it wasn't altogether uncommon to see apartment buildings constructed right next to the landowner's home. Adjusting my grip on the 2 remaining cartons of laundry detergent, I walked up to the old faded front door and rang the doorbell.
Hi.
Hello? An elegant feminine voice answered.
本日引っ越してきた結城ですけど。
Hi, it's me, Yuki. Your new tenant.
はいはい、ゆうきさんね。今開けますから。
Sorry guys, I gotta do this real quick. Stupid me. I did not do this earlier. It's the problem with having to not have a monitor. So okay, good. Perfect. And did it post to my Twitter? I don't know. No, it did not. Okay. Sorry, guys. Almost done. We didn't even get to the good stuff yet. Because, yeah, it's a slow start. But that's okay. Oh, I see. Yuki-san, is it? I'll be right there. The words had scarcely left her lips when the front door slid open, and there she was, my landlady. The last time I seen her was during the lease signing a few days prior. Her name was Inamoto-san, and I estimated her to be around the same age as my own mother. Her face lit up as soon as she spotted me.
そういえば今日引っ越しだったのよね。お疲れ様でした。
That's right, you moved in today, didn't you? Welcome, welcome.
いえ、これからお世話になります。
Thank you, I'm happy to be here.
あらあら、こちらこそよろしく。
Good, we're happy to have you. I had a fondness for these sorts of polite exchanges. Japanese humility at its
これ
finest.
大したものじゃないんですが、ご挨拶がてら持ってきました。よかったら使ってください。
This is for you, just a little something I figured you could use. Thought I'd bring it over as a sort of thank you gift. Perhaps detergent wasn't the most apt gift for my new landlady. Still, in my experience, women tended to appreciate practical gifts like these, and older women especially. Sure enough, Inamoto-san smiled warmly and took the carton from my
あ
hand.
ら嬉しい。まあまあ、気を使ってくださって。
Oh, I'll be. Aren't you thoughtful? Bless your heart. That left me with just one carton. I thought back to my experience at apartment 202. Surely the landlady ought to know what sort of person lives there, I thought.
私の隣ってどんな方が住んでるんでしょうか。
Say, just wondering, but who lives next door to me? Next door?
ええ、202号室です。
Yeah, in apartment 202. I saw her face twitch. She was clearly rattled by my question.
隣はどなたもいらっしゃいませんよ。
Oh, there's no one living next to you. What?
お隣は空き室なんです。どなたも住んでませんよ。
The apartment next to yours is empty. No one lives there.
誰もですか。
No one?
ええ。
Correct.
確かにですか。
Are you sure?
ええ。
Quite sure. There's an obvious pause in her answer. Whoops, sorry. But at this point, I was too panicked to care. If no one lived there, then how would you explain the intercom static? The rattling of doorknob. The door opening. The hand.
誰かが入り込んでるなんてことはないですよね。
Okay, is it possible someone's squatting there
鍵
illegally?
は私が保管してますし、何より今はあの部屋は貸し出してませんから。
not. I keep with me. That apartment isn't for rent in the first place.
でも私見たんです。ドアが開いたの。
But I saw it. I saw the door open.
そんな、まさか。
What? That's not possible. Gotta check one more thing. Okay, there we go. Okay. Her smile was stiff, her voice shaky. What was she hiding in there?
本当なんです。中から人の手が出て。
It's the truth. Someone reached out from inside
だ
and...
ってあそこは空き家なんですよ。
I'm telling you, the apartment is completely empty.
じゃあ不審者が入り込んでるのかも。確認してみてください。
Well, in that case, could you just check to see if there's anyone hiding out in there?
でも
But...
隣がちゃんと空き室だってわからないと安心して住めませんから。
I need to know that apartment's empty so I can feel safe living here.
わかりました。マスターキーを取ってきますから少し待っててくださいね。
Very well, I'll go grab the master key, so just sit tight for a moment.
はい。
Okay. I was desperate. I needed to verify with my own two eyes, because I knew what I'd seen. A violently rattling doorknob. A door that opened on its own. And then a single hand. After a moment, Matsu-san returned, master key in hand. She seemed rather tense. That said, given the nature of my claim, I couldn't blame her.
じゃあ行きましょうか。
Alright then, let's head over.
あ、はい。すみません。
Right, sorry about this. I knew I hadn't been seeing things, and yet I couldn't help but apologize anyway. Somehow it just didn't feel real. I followed Inato-san, I'm sorry if I'm butchering these names, guys, back up the staircase from where I had come. Oh, 3 viewers, thank you guys. Or 2 viewers, but I'm not going to worry about that. It's probably going to be back and forth. At the landing, we promptly arrived at my apartment. There, I briefly stepped inside to drop off the extra carton of detergent. After all, I wouldn't be needing it if no one actually lived next door. With that off my hands, I stepped back out to the hall, and together we walked a handful more steps to apartment 202. To my relief, the door was firmly closed.
じゃあ開けますよ。
Alright, I'll open the door now. Oh god, that was loud. Jeez. Okay. She turned the key in the lock, and moments later the door swung open with a loud, deep creak. Yeah, it was loud.
さあ中を見て。
Go on, take a look.
はい。
Okay. Huh? I peered past her into the apartment and froze. It was empty. The wallpaper was brand new and the floor was coated in a thin layer of dust. It was blatantly clear that no one had set foot in there in quite some time, much less lived there. I couldn't believe it. It made no sense.
中を見てもいいですか？
If y'all want to chat, by the way, feel free. I can see it on my phone. I can't see it on my computer, but yeah. Anyway. Would it be alright if I took a look around inside?
中には入らないでくださいね。ここは貸してる部屋じゃないので。
I'd prefer if you didn't. Sorry, this apartment isn't fit to be shown.
どうして？
What? How so?
それはいろいろと身内の事情がありましてね。さあもう分かったでしょ。閉めますよ。
Well, there are reasons, personal, family reasons, but now you've seen it for yourself, yes? I'll close up.
あ、
Oh. Before I could begin to process what I seen, Inamoto-san closed the door and locked it up tight. Apartment 202 is now completely and undeniably empty.
でも確かに。
But I know what I saw. I mumbled pathetically to myself as Inamoto-san slipped past
引っ
me.
越しでお疲れなんでしょ。よくあることですよ、きっと。
You must be tired from the big move. I'm sure this kind of thing happens to everyone. I sincerely hope not, I wanted to say. But Inamoto-san had already vanished around the corner and down the stairs. The diner was a 5-minute drive away. I should have been excited to explore my new neighborhood, but instead I was utterly miserable. Pushing my cold, half-eaten hamburger steak around my plate, I contemplated everything that had happened this evening. For the briefest of moments, out of the corner of my eye, as I rounded that corner, I had seen it. A hand reaching out from the gap in the open door. The detail that stuck with me most was how deathly pale it looked. And what were they reaching for exactly? And even supposing the hand had merely been a hallucination on my part, how would that explain the doorknob? Surely I couldn't have hallucinated the doorknob jiggling around like that. And yet the apartment beyond that door was completely deserted. If someone had come to the door earlier, then there should have been footprints in the dust to prove it, but there weren't. I glanced out the window to find the sunset fading into dusk, and suddenly remembered that my windows at home still didn't have any curtains. Just a few hours prior, I told myself it could wait until tomorrow, but after today's little scare, I was cursing myself for not thinking ahead.
まだホームセンターは開いてるかしら。
I wonder if the hardware store is still open. I checked the time displayed on my phone, 6:16 p.m. I'd best get a move on if I wanted to find some place that would sell me curtains. Sure, maybe I was just paranoid, but as it turned out, sometimes a single strip of fabric could mean a world of difference. It was human nature to conceal the darkness, because the darkness played host to all of our most primitive fears. I picked up my bill from where it lay at the edge at the table and set my fork down on my unfinished plate. Loath as I was to waste food, today would simply have to be an exception. As I went to grab my phone off the table, however, it began to buzz quietly, LED light blinking. The name Yuki Shoko was displayed on screen. I quickly
もし
answered.
もし。
Hello?
あ、お姉ちゃん。もう引っ越し終わった？
Hey sis, are you moved in and stuff? I could hear my little sister's usual easygoing
今日
tone.
はごめんね。手伝いたかったんだけど仕事が終わんなくて。
Sorry I couldn't lend a hand. I really wanted to, but work was crazy.
別にいいよ。荷物なんて大してないし。わざわざここまで来るのも大変だし。
Sorry guys. It's fine, there wasn't much to move anyway. Besides, I feel bad making you come out all this way.
ごめんね。今度引っ越し祝い持って遊びに行くから。
I'm sorry, I'll bring you a housewarming gift sometime and you can show me your new place.
気を使わなくていいったら。せいぜいゴディバのチョコでいいわよ。
And like I said, guys, in case y'all missed it, I'm leaving the Japanese voices on because of the emotion. It's spookier that way, but I'm still gonna read it after in case y'all are just hearing it. So anyway, that's why it's set up like this. You don't have to make a big deal out of it, silly. Just bring me some Godiva chocolates or something.
はいはい。今度貢がせてもらいます。
Okay,
ところでお姉
fine.
ちゃん。
Oh, sorry. I grant unto you my fine offering soon, Missy. By the way. Hmm? Shoko suddenly lowered her voice and I could practically hear her smirking on the other end of the phone.
なんか面白そうなところに引っ越したみたいね。
You sure have an interesting taste in apartments, don't you?
何？どういうこと？
Huh? What are you implying? My heart skipped a beat. Ever since we were young, Shoko always had a strong sense of intuition, and somehow I had a bad feeling about this.
別になんとなくそんな気がしただけ。じゃあお姉ちゃんまだ仕事終わってないからまたね。
Oh, nothing really. I just thought I had. Anyway, I gotta get back to work. Talk soon.
あ、ちょっと。
Hey, wait! But she hung up before I could stop her. Something about the amusement in her voice did sit right with me.
面白そうなところってどういう意味？
Interesting taste? What's that supposed to mean? I pondered it for a moment, but quickly realized I was getting nowhere fast. Stuffing my phone in my pocket, I promptly took my bill up to the register. As it turned out, the hardware store was actually just a short walk from the diner. Plus, as an added bonus, I discovered that the grocery store next door stayed open pretty late most days. I could always hunt around for a cheaper store later on, but for now, all my shopping needs were met. I picked out a nice set of curtains at the hardware store, plus a few odds and ends, and by the time I made it home, it was pitch dark outside. That said, living out here away from the big city, the moon and stars were actually quite invisible, Not to mention the parking lot security lights were pretty bright, too. Before I knew it, I was standing back in front of the door to 201, both hands weighed down with shopping bags. Taking care not to glance over at apartment 202, I slid my key into the deadbolt. But it wouldn't turn.
あれ
What the? For a moment I thought I might have used my old key by mistake, but I hadn't brought it with me. And car keys were too distinctive for anyone to mix up. I reinserted the key and tried again. No dice.
まさかぼーっとして3階に来てたりして。
I didn't accidentally walk up an extra flight of stairs or something, did I? Surely I wasn't that out of it. Just in case, I looked up to check the number of the door, and then I froze. Dimly, my brain registered the light flutter of my shopping bags as they hit the floor.
なんで
How? Why? 202. I was standing in front of apartment 202. Panicked, I grabbed my bags, yanked my key out of the lock, and looked back in the direction I had come. Sure enough, my apartment was one door down. I was sure I stopped at the front door after I turned the corner. Fear welling up in me, I hurried over to 201 and put my key in the lock, hands shaking. But this time the cylinder turned without a hitch. Too terrified to look down the hall, I darted inside and locked the door behind me, and then I bolted the chain for good measure. My new curtains were a light shade of beige, designed to help brighten up a room. Admittedly, I would have preferred blackout curtains, but at this point, I'd have settled for anything. These beige curtains had 2 layers. Beneath the thin colored fabric was a set of lace panels. As I set about hanging them up over the living room window, I thought back on the day's events. I could see the shadowy balcony outside beyond the glass, separated from the one next door via a privacy screen that someone could easily break through in the event of an emergency. I kept my gaze averted, however. In the back of my mind, I kept worrying some formless entity was going to come creeping out of apartment 202 onto my balcony. I felt a bit better once I finished hanging the living room curtains, but the hardest part was yet to come. The living room and bedroom were divided by a single sliding partition, and my bedroom shared a wall with 202. Somehow it felt different in there.
気のせい気のせい
It's all in my head. It's all in my head. It had to be. After all, nothing had felt off when I went in there this morning. If only I hadn't seen that. The pale hand flashed through my mind again. Hastily, I shook the thought away. Forget it. I knew I'd never be able to stay here if I kept dwelling on it. I shot a quick glance at the balcony. A single pane of glass was all that separated me from that unsettling darkness. Why was I letting myself get so worked up over some curtains? Silently reassuring myself, I set about hanging up the lace. My arms were starting to get tired from continually reaching up, but there was no time to complain. I needed to get this over with, ASAP. Next, I grabbed the beige fabric and looked back up at the curtain rod. The mindless busy work was beginning to help me forget my anxiety. Once I finished hanging up the first half, I took the second half out of the bag. Almost done. Unfolding the curtains, I grabbed one hook and reached up. And then... For a second, I didn't know where the sound was coming from. Until it happened a second time, and my whole apartment shook. I jumped away from the window, leaving the curtain hanging limply by one hook.
何今の
What was that? The window pane was visibly shaking from the external impact. Beyond the delicate lace, the balcony still seemed as empty as ever. Fearfully, I peered out through the curtains. Sure enough, no one was there. At this, I felt both relieved and unnerved. Who hit my window then? I needed to know, but I didn't want to find out. Wrestling with my conflicted emotions, I let my gaze wander over the dark void of the balcony. And there I found my answer. Huh? I wanted to scream, but it felt like there was a cork in my throat, keeping my voice sealed away. There it was, on the railing between my balcony and the next. that? A bony hand clung to the privacy screen, so pale it practically glowed in the dark. It slid along the edge of the partition until it vanished from sight, little more than a few seconds. I'm not screaming. And yet those seconds felt like hours, right up to the moment I screamed. I awoke on the living room floor to the sound of the doorbell.
Yuki-san, iru? Daijoubu?
Yuki-san, you there? Are you okay? The vaguely familiar voice made me shudder. Nevertheless, I staggered to my feet like a puppet whose strings had been cut. I had no proof, but I was convinced. The hand belonged to a woman. Hence, the man outside wasn't dangerous. It was just a gut feeling. Too tired to deal with the intercom, I stumbled my way to the front door. Collapsing against it, I looked through the peephole to find my upstairs neighbor, Matsu-san, looking tense. As I opened the door, the cool night breeze drifted in through the 1-inch gap permitted by the chain.
ベランダにいたらすごい悲鳴が聞こえたから。
I was out on the balcony and I heard you screaming bloody murder down here. I had no clue what to tell him. This confusion must have registered on my face because he got a bit flustered.
こんばんは。301の久松ですけど。
Oh, sorry. Hi. It's me. This is Matsu from 301. Yes, I know. Don't worry. I remember you. Finally, my voice decided cooperating. Miss Matsu-san was clearly relieved to hear it. But perhaps he'd mistaken my hesitation for mistrust.
それで、大丈夫ですか?
So, you okay, or?
そんなに悲鳴聞こえました。
I must have screamed pretty loud, huh? Personally, I had next to no memory of doing so. All I remembered is being rooted to the spot, my eyes glued to the balcony until the hand vanished from sight. As Matsu-san smiled sheepishly and nodded to my question.
まあ、僕が驚いて飛んできちゃうくらいには。
Totally. I mean, yeah, just sounded kind of serious, so I came running.
別に俺でも構わないですけど、一向に。
You can speak freely around me. I don't mind. I wasn't sure why he kept correcting himself over such inoffensive slang.
じゃあ俺で。
Oh, okay then.
どうしてわざわざ言い直してるんですか?
Because he likes you. Why do you keep correcting yourself anyway?
いや、昔教授に気をつけろって言われまして、TPO をわきまえろってね。
My case about a while back told me it was extremely rude and unprofessional. Oh, I see. The more we talked, the more I could feel myself calming down. And that ghostly hand started to feel more and more like just a bad dream.
で、どうしたんですか?
So, what happened?
いえ、ゴキブリをちょっと。
Oh, nothing. Just a cockroach, you know?
ゴキブリ?
A cockroach? Even I didn't know where that lie came from. I couldn't stop thinking back to the perfectly empty apartment I'd seen only a few hours earlier. My fear felt so fake in comparison.
ゴキブリね。ここにもいたんだ。
Sorry. I didn't know we had them here.
見たことないゴキブリ。
You haven't seen them around?
ここではないですね。前にいたオンボロアパートでは見ましたけど。なんだ、ゴキブリか。
Not here, nope. My last apartment had them, though. That place was a dump. Oh well, just a cockroach, huh? For the way he spoke, it sounded like he'd been expecting something else. I couldn't stop myself from
ゴキブ
asking.
リじゃなきゃ何だと思ったんですか?
Of course it was. What were you expecting?
幽霊かな。
I don't know. A ghost, maybe? Instantly, a chill shot down my spine. Did he know something? But just as a suspicion crossed my mind, Hisamatsu-san grinned.
なんて
Just kidding. What?
泥棒とか痴漢だったら大変だと思ったんですよ。最近田舎も何かと物騒だから。
I was worried I was a burglar or some kind of sex pervert. The countryside not as safe as it used to be, you know?
まあそうですね。
Oh, right. Yes, that's true.
とにかく何もなかったようでよかったですよ。俺も安心して論文を書けるってもんです。
Anyway, glad it wasn't serious. Now I can go back to write my thesis.
そうか、邪魔しちゃったのね。ごめんなさい。
Right, sorry for bothering you.
いいえ。じゃあおやすみなさい。
No worries. Have a good
お
one.
騒がせしてごめんなさい。じゃあ
Thank you, and sorry for the trouble. I made to close the door, but it stopped a few centimeters from the threshold. I looked down to find Hisamatsu-san's hand on the doorknob.
何か
Did you still need something?
忘れてました。これ。
Forgot to give you this. Huh? He extended a slip of paper through the chain's gap.
俺の携帯の番号です。何かあったらかけてください。危ないことでも危なくないことでも飛んできますから。
He's so digging you, lady. He is pretty hot. It's my cell number. Feel free to call me, in case of emergency or not emergencies, whatever. I'll run down anytime.
ありがとうございます。
Oh, thank you.
じゃあ今度こそおやすみなさい。
No problem. Bye for real this time. This time, I shut the door without interruption. All at once, the energy drained from my limbs, and I sank to the floor. From there, I crawled on my hands and knees to check the bedroom. The balcony was perfectly quiet and perfectly empty, just as though nothing had ever happened. Half of my curtains still hung limply by a single hook. I hurried over and secured the rest of the hooks to the curtain rod. After that, I spent the rest of the night in the living room.